Good evening, respected members. We are commencing our regular meeting now. I request CA Kishore Kumar, President ACA, to kindly give his welcome address.
Hello everyone. A very warm, happy evening to one and all. I hope and wish that all of you are in fine health and are happier than earlier. It gives me immense pleasure in extending my warm welcome to all of you to today's webinar. A very special welcome to the speaker of the day, CA Jai Bhai. Last month, we hosted 2 webinars on technical subjects. We also noticed that innumerable webinars are available day in and day out. It is said that too much of anything is also not good. So we were contemplating as to what different can be planned, which should be of greater use as well as non-monotonous. Luckily, I happened to interact with our Central Council member, CA Rajendra Kumar. He connected me to CA Jai Chhaira ji, and that's how we are here today with the learned speaker. Jai Bhai gave us options for several topics, but the topic Innovate or Evaporate attracted our attention. It is rightly said that change is the only constant in life. That which does not change does not grow. Brand loyalty will be history in future. CA Jai Bhai, as he is fondly called, will enlighten us on the need for change and ways to achieve it. I hope and believe that this session will be an eye-opener for all of us. The wisdom of the speaker will open up our hidden side of the right brain, and we will become more creative so as to withstand the harsh competition in the world. Happy listening, and over to Secretary CA Bharat.
Thank you, sir. May I now request CA Tarun Kumar to kindly introduce the speaker.
Good afternoon, one and all. I'm immensely grateful to ACA Chennai to have given me this wonderful opportunity to introduce our speaker for the day, CA Shri Jai Chhaira. However, he's a man who needs absolutely no introduction. To be very frank and honest, I had to reduce the font on my screen to as small as 5 to be able to try and fit in his accolades and achievements of our speaker in a single page. He is someone who has attained 27 educational degrees. Yes, you heard me right. 27. He has studied advanced management in the top countries of the world, such as US, UK, China, Italy, Germany. He has also been awarded by the President of India for attaining first place in India in research, and also by the CM of Gujarat for science as well as research. Legend of Surat, Star of Surat, Jewel in the Crown, Surat Na Sitara, Youth Icon. These are just some of the accolades that he has been bestowed with by the Health Minister, MLA, Mayor of Gujarat, and also by the popular newspaper Dainik Bhaskar. Apart from academics, he is also passionate about extracurricular activities and hobbies such as acting, singing, for which he has done a few Gujarati films as well as dramas, martial arts, and others. He's also been selected for the World Youth Peace Summit held in Geneva, Switzerland, and has represented India at various forums of higher education in Los Angeles, Milan, Guangzhou, Phuket, and Paris. He is a current member of the Central Council and also of over 15 committees of ICAI. It is my absolute honor to introduce and welcome CA Shri Jai Chhaira. Over to Bharatji.
Thank you, Tarun, for your nice way of introduction. May I now request our Central Council member to kindly say a few words about this all-rounder speaker of the day.
Thank you, CA N.K. Bharat Kumar, a very esteemed president of the Association of Chartered Accountants Chennai, and all other esteemed members who have joined for this, one of this very, very rare meetings, I should say, along with my very esteemed friend, my very dear friend in the Central Council, who is from the Diamond City of India. Yes, you guessed it right. You call it Diamond City or the Textile City. Surat is one of the most important cities in India, and let me tell you, that he is such a popular person in the Western region that if Amitabh Bachchan is made to contest against him, Amitabh Bachchan would certainly withdraw from the contest, because the kind of popularity that Jai Bhai enjoys in the Western region is extremely immense. To call him as Amitabh Bachchan of Western region would be an insult to Jai Bhai itself, let me tell you, because that is the kind of popularity, that is the kind of the reach that he enjoys amongst the Western region members, and not only now amongst Western region, he's become popular in the entire country. And in the immediate election that was held, he got the highest votes in the Western region, more than the sitting vice president who was to become the president. In fact, a person with a very human touch, always smiling, always colorful. You look at the dress which he is wearing today, the kind of color that he is, that appealing personality, and a person with immense and in-depth knowledge in the subject. See, whatever he wishes to pursue, he will ensure that he will immerse in that. He is a singer, he is a dramatist, he is a writer, he is a speaker, he is a sportsman, he plays instruments. Some of the accolades are not written in the profile that he has circulated. In fact, in the council, and whenever we are in Delhi, and whenever I am, at least Jai Bhai is there, I ensure that even without his knowledge, I try to be around him, because at least something we will get it from him. Some little knowledge we will acquire, some things we will know. So one day he told me that he took his bike, and from Surat, he went in the bike to Ladakh. And he has gone to places like Kenya, where we also don't want to go in the map also. He has gone to those type of wonderful cities, explored in the world, that we don't want to know where it is there in the map of the world also. That is the kind of interest, that is the kind of in-depth passion that Jai Bhai emanates, and it is infectious, let me tell you. It is always impossible for you to go against him on any matter. Impossible. I have never seen any person talking against his views on the council table. Let me tell you that. And his views are very, very clear views. The thoughts are very much foresighted. And a person who exactly knows what is to be done and what should not be done. And such a kind of gem we are having in the Central Council. Jai Bhai, when people think that if you don't have time, only then people go to Central Council. You are a worthless fellow, you go to Central Council. You are useless, you go to Central Council. Here you are, who is adding glory to people like me who are in the Central Council. Here you are, a knowledgeable for 27 degrees. If some of you have joined late, let me tell you, 27 degrees he holds. So was it required for him to be in the Central Council or not is a question which which we have to ask ourselves. But then he has chosen to spend his time for the institute in the in the branch, in the regional council, and then in the Central Council. In the branch, he spent about two terms. In the regional council, he spent about 3 terms, and now it is this 3rd term in the Central Council, which means 9 plus 9, 18, 18 plus 2, 20. 20 years of his precious life he has given to the Central Council for the ICAI. Many of you seated here today can at least give 6 years in the times to come. Friends, I would not stand between Jai Bhai and all of you. You are in for a wonderful treat, let me tell you. And I know certainly many of you will come back and say, Ye dil mange more. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, our Honorable President, and over to you for the next pleasantries. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajendra Kumar sir, for introducing such a huge all-rounder to us. You have touched all the topics which he is in. There is no topic that is left that is not been touched by Jay sir. So definitely we are looking forward to the great meeting and knowledge from his side. So, Speaker sir, The session is yours. You may kindly commence.
A very good evening. Let me check here. A very, very good evening to all of you and friends. I'm really, really delighted to be with all of you today. And Rajendra Kumarji, the president, Rajendra Kumarji, and then President Kishore Kumarji, Bharatji, Tarun Kumarji, and all other esteemed members of the Association of Chartered Accountants, Chennai. Friends, first of all, let me have my connection with Chennai. I am very well connected to Chennai and Tamil Nadu. I have studied in 6 different universities of Tamil Nadu. I have studied at Madras University, at Pondicherry University, at Madurai Kamraj University, at Alagappa University, Karakudi, at Annamalai University, 6 different universities of Tamil Nadu. I have studied as a student. So I have a very deep connection with all of you. And one very interesting thing which I could notice, when Kishore Kumarji started with his speech, I could see a glow on his face, same glow on Tarunji's face, right? I find people very smiling. And when Kishorji started that, happier than earlier, that was something really very interesting. Happier than earlier. If we can only apply this in our life, that you have to be happier than earlier, every point of time. I don't think any other mantra is required. This is the most important mantra of life, happier than earlier. And I must very sincerely thank my council colleague, my senior council colleague, Rajendra Kumarji, who had given me this opportunity to be with you. He was instrumental in linking me with Kishore Kumarji. And I must thank Rajendra Kumarji not only for that, but for for some very beautiful words that he has used. Of course, one cannot be compared with any other person, at least not with Amitabh Bachchan. He's a great man, of course, a very great man. But I must really thank. But on a lighter note, I would say that currently your president is Kishore Kumar, and even your central council member is Kishore Kumar of the council. Rajendra Kumarji is one of the finest singers. We have sung together number of times. And 12 hours of council hours, 12 hours council meeting from morning till night is a little tough. So at night, we few council colleagues get together and we do sing. And we have our leader as Rajendra Kumarji. So I really thank. And the first and foremost question that arises as to why this topic. Why do we require this topic? Innovate or evaporate? So friends, I'm telling you, the world is totally changing. And it is not changing today. It has started changing 2 decades back or 3 decades back. Once upon a time, being educated would mean you have too much of memory. You have memorized so many things. You know many facts and figures. That was the time. But with the advent of computers is not something new. It has been 40 years. We have seen that computers can store much more facts and figures, much more. So the education, the thirst in education has shifted from memory to it came to application. But once again, in terms of application, computers have surpassed human beings. We know very well that whatever is repetitive, machines can do it better than human beings. Whatever is repetitive, kindly understand. Whatever is procedural, whatever is compliance can be done far better by machines than human beings. And is it a very big risk? Well, the answer may be yes and the answer may be no. And here I would like to quote another person who is from Tamil Nadu. Some of my favorites are there in Tamil Nadu. One of my very favorites, of course, is Kamal Hassan from Tamil Nadu, a very versatile actor. He is very innovative, actually. That is the reason. He is very innovative. Sometimes even I listen to his Tamil movie, I don't understand language, but I look at it because he is innovative. Similarly, of course, Rajnikant, nobody can ignore him, and I'll include him in my talk for one particular reason, a very important management lesson. I think I read a book written by some Chennai-based chartered accountant who has written a book. I'm not sure whether you are aware of the fact or not, but a Chennai-based chartered accountant has written a book on some 50 dialogues of Rajnikant in Tamil, and with each dialogue, he has linked up a management lesson. Oh, that is very innovative. Really, it seems very innovative when you are linking up dialogues of Rajnikant and then coming out with the management lessons. That is very interesting. So I was actually talking about my very favorite Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudeva from Coimbatore. I do listen to him on a regular basis, and I find him really very sensible and very wonderful. And once a question was asked to him that Sadhguruji, with this more and more technology, with more and more machines, is it going to be that human beings are going to be obsolete? Is it a threat? Is it a threat? He said, rather than threat, let us look at it this way. If these machines are going to work for us, if these computers are going to work for us, they are going to give us more free time. More free time. If we can utilize this time to enhance our life, if we can utilize this time to enhance our life, to enhance our understanding, to enhance our happiness, then it can be an asset. See what machines can do. Machines can do technical things. Machines can do repetitive processes. Machines cannot be innovative. So now the thing is, why this topic innovate or evaporate? The reason is either you become the slave of machines or you become the masters. While machines are wonderful slaves, they are very bad masters. They are very bad masters. One has to understand. And friends, the chairman, Kishorji, talked about a very good thing, that is right brain. That is right brain. A few days back, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India called up Sri Ravi Shankarji for one particular program. Fortunately, in the last few days, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has come up with some wonderful topics with speakers of national repute, whether it is Piyush Goyal, the minister, or it is Sri Ravi Shankar, or is it one of the most leading lawyers, Harish Salve, or maybe some of the other very excellent speakers. Of course, Rajendra Kumarji has been instrumental in many such programs. He has been the big pawn of ICAI for many of the major programs, right? Once again, a person from your city, from Chennai. So, Sadhguruji was asked this fact, and Sri Ravi Shankarji told one important thing to the chartered accountants. One question was asked by our council colleague that what is your suggestion particularly for chartered accountants? And he said that chartered accountants are more with logic, more with reasoning, more with rational thinking, more with procedures, more with compliances. And these all are generated, including sequential thinking and as well as analysis from the left side of the brain. It is about the left side of the brain, right? So that's why chartered accountant should also activate the right side of the brain. Chartered accountants should also activate the right side of the brain, and right side of the brain is creativity, is music, is painting, is photography, is innovation, is intuition, what we say sixth sense. Friends, what happens? Top lawyers, top chartered accountants, top doctors, they use more of the left side of the brain. Left side of the brain. Now, it's really wonderful. It is really wonderful to use this part. But at the same time, if some work is done on the right side also, then you can have a very beautiful life, a very balanced side of life, right and a left. Left about, as I said, reasoning, logic, and right about intuition, creativity, innovation. On a lighter note, the situation should never be like that, that somebody comes and tells you that, your brain consists of two sides, left and the right, and you are very unique because you have nothing left in your right and nothing right in your left. I hope that we do not fall into that particular category. So anyways, friends, with this artificial intelligence, with this robotics, with this machine language, machine learning, as we are talking about, today we are talking about the new ABCD, that is artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud, data analytics. Friends, believe me, machines are going to rule us. Small chips sitting in our mobile or in our laptop are going to process more data 100 times more faster and 100 times more in volume than us. Does it mean they are going to conquer us? No, no. The same question was there when in agriculture, way back 50 years back or 70 years back, machines were introduced. Is agriculture going to make human beings redundant? There was a question. After this 50, 70 years, you have not become redundant. We have changed our lifestyle. We have changed our professions. We have changed our skill set. If we would not have changed the skill set, then definitely would have been to a challenge. Similarly, with this artificial intelligence, with this data analytics and all these things, what is going to happen? The way we look at the profession, the way we work, the way we think has to change. And if we do not change, it might be obsolete. Friends, worldwide, some analysis has been done, which are the top 10 professions, which are the top 10 professions which are going to be hit by this artificial intelligence and machine learning. And one of these professions is, of course, number of them are there. Legal profession is there, medical profession is there, even our profession, accountancy profession is there. And not only that, of course, there are many other businesses which will be hit. So that's why it's very important that with the changing time, we change our skill set, we sharpen our skill set. And that is the reason why this particular topic, innovate or evaporate. I would request Bharatji, if you can start with the PPT. If you can start with the PPT. Yeah. So friends, I hope you can look at the PPT. It is about innovate or evaporate. And as I was discussing with you, that it's a beautiful topic. It's a very, very beautiful topic. And I'm first going to relate innovate with innovation with our daily life. And friends, I'm not going to talk something about some management books. I'm going to talk about our day-to-day life where we find innovation and how we can be inspired to be more and more innovative and to elevate our profession, elevate our spirits, elevate our life. So let us move to the next slide. Next slide, please, Bharatji.
Yes, sir.
Friends, okay, friends, look at this next slide. Friends, look at this next slide. Let us understand one particular fact. Say, for instance, I became a lawyer 30 years back, or I became a chartered accountant 30 years back, or I became a doctor 30 years back. What I studied in my curriculum was definitely important, was definitely relevant at that point of time. And also, even in the current time, that is quite important. The concepts remain the same, but of course, techniques change, requirements change. And if I don't change, what will happen? That is the question now. That is a very big question. Like, you have three different things, images on the screen. The first one is Kodak 400, as you can see. Friends, those people who are senior sitting here, I can see a number of people who are seniors, and I'm sure while they were having photography in their time, even while I was having photography in my time, right? Digital photography is only some 2 decades old. Before that, you had to go with these negatives, right? You had to load Kodak, Konica, Yashica, Minolta, some 3, 4 companies were there. Major share of the market was with Kodak, Konica. I think 70-80% of the share of the world were only with 2 companies. And you could not imagine photography in any part of the world. Sir, 2 decades back, if you are really interested in photography, whether you are in Chennai or in Amsterdam, whether you are in Surat or in Manchester, whether you are in Los Angeles or Guangzhou, you would not be able to do photography without Kodak. So Kodak was such a powerful company across the globe. And friends, where is Kodak today? It has evaporated. Kodak felt that its competition is with Konica, with Fujifilm. But friends, I think you have changed the slide, sir. You have changed the slide. Yeah. Kodak felt that Konica is the competitor. But friends, it is interesting. Kodak had no competition from Konica. The major competition it faced from Samsung and iPhone, where the digital things took over. Digital things took over and Kodak became extinct, evaporated. Similarly, look at the other thing, Orkut. Orkut. I'm sure once again, some people who had started with the social media 2 decades back, they must have started with Orkut. They must have started with Orkut. There were many people who were on Orkut. I was also on Orkut with many of my college and school friends. And all of a sudden, Orkut, which was so very popular, many of the youngsters use this Orkut regularly on a daily basis. All of a sudden, Orkut disappeared, vanished, evaporated. And the question is, how it happened? Why did it so happen? Why Facebook all of a sudden took over Orkut, and why in a single moment Orkut was slain? Why it so happened? Of course, after the Facebook, you have another thing called Instagram. And friends, here also, I'll discuss with you a very interesting management principle. Sometimes we do not notice some facts. I was discussing with a youngster. I was discussing with a youngster some 5 years back. Some 5 years back that tell me what do you do on Instagram? Because I was not on Instagram. I asked a youngster, what do you do on Instagram? He said, we upload photographs. I said, but that we do in Facebook. And he said, we have some other short videos also. I said, that happens in Facebook also. Then he said, we post also some of our thought process. I said, but that is there in Facebook also. So I found that Instagram was very similar to Facebook. Then I had one question. As a chartered accountant, I had one question because we believe in revenue augmentation, we believe in cost reduction, right? So immediately a question came to my mind. Why is it so when already Facebook is serving the same purpose? Why Mark Zuckerberg would be interested in paying such a huge money to buy, to acquire Instagram? When the same product, when his own product can serve the purpose, why does this gentleman require going to product of some other company? And I started thinking over it. And over a bit of time, I got a very interesting answer. A very interesting answer. And the answer, in the terms of management language, is termed as Levi's effect. The Levi's effect. This social media company had some market survey. Now, this market survey is very important. If you really want to grow in your business, you want to thrive, you want to survive, you want to have a sustainable business, scalable business, and naturally, you have to go with market research, you have to go with market survey. And what what this company came to know was the Levi's effect, that two different generations, father and son, would not like to be on the same media. Generally, generally, if father is on Facebook, son would say, "Oh, this is something very old fashioned. I would not like to be on Facebook. I want something else." Right? He would not be interested. So that's why Facebook came up with Instagram. Now you look at it. Now you look at it. The generation which has come up in the last 5, 7 years on the social media, they have been more on Instagram and less on Facebook. I'm very sure Mark Zuckerberg must be having some other thought process that after 5 years, when Instagram also will be a little older, he will start thinking about it. What is going to the next social media? So that is something very interesting. But I ask you, Orkut, which was a big success, it evaporated. Why did it evaporate? So either you understand the market, you do market research, you have a market survey, you strategize accordingly, you innovate yourself, and you do not innovate, then be ready for evaporation. You are evaporated. Now, the third example on the screen, as you can see, is Bajaj scooters. I'm not very sure what was the situation in Chennai those days, because those days I could not visit Chennai. I was too young when the scooters and all this came up. From my college days, I've been visiting Chennai virtually every year. Every year, I used to come to Chennai, and thereafter, I have seen Chennai growing. But those days, in very good old days, when scooters were there, I've seen that in Gujarat, in most of the cities, in every lanes and every houses, scooters were found. These scooters were very popular, very popular. 90% of the two-wheeler market, 90% of the two-wheeler market in my city, Surat, constituted of these Bajaj scooters. And it was a huge success. Then all of a sudden, why is it so that these scooters, this model evaporated? Because with the passage of time, when the technology changed, when the fashion trend changed, the company had to change it. Fortunately, Bajaj could understand the trend and in lieu of the scooter can convert it to motorbikes. And that's why with Discover and other type of, Pulsar and something, some of the products, this company could survive. Otherwise, it would have vanished, evaporated. Now, why I'm giving these examples? I have a reason for that. I have been told that in today's program, most of the people are chartered accountants. Along with that, there are some businessmen also joining it. So friends, let us understand, many of us who acquire qualification, they feel that once you have taken qualification, that's it, we are at ease. But it is never like that. You might be a chartered accountant, but nobody has assured you that lifelong you will have a wonderful practice, right? You might be a rank holder. That does not mean lifelong companies are going to come searching for you. Life is changing, world is changing. If we do not change, and believe me, change is challenging, change is enjoyable. Change is challenging, change is enjoyable. Interesting. I once again remember on change, I once again remember one more of my favorites from Chennai. I have one more person who is very good from Chennai, my favorites. I have met that gentleman times, Mahatria. Mahatria, the voice of T.T. Rangarajan from Chennai. I met him and he spoke very well on changes, that why you require changing. And that is the concept. That is the concept. We have to understand that whatever we are doing in the profession might be right today, but it might not be leading us to the next tomorrow. Maybe if I'm a man of 50 years, it's okay. I have to spend some few more years in my active profession. It might be okay. But if I'm a chartered accountant or businessman of 20, and if I'm not innovative, then I think I'm going to put myself in a difficult situation. So the concept is keep on innovating, and you will not innovate, you are going to be evaporated. That's the beauty of life. Next one, please. Next one. So life is full of uncertainties, and only three things are certain in life. One is breathe in, breathe out, and third is innovation. Now, this is the importance of innovation. You or I cannot live without breathing in, breathing out. And these days, because of this corona effect, many of the yoga guru are teaching us what is the right way of breathe in, breathe out, the pranayamas, that is the Anulom, Vinulom, Bhastrika, and Kapalbhati, and all under all our ancient, beautiful Indian techniques. How with these pranayams, the proper techniques of breathing and breathing out, how we can reduce the impact of any diseases, maybe it contagious, by less, means where you can reduce the chances of disease by 90%. Friends, I'm sure you will be very happy that what India did way back, thousands of years back, today it is coming back, and it is only India. It is only India where such innovative techniques were there. The world has to look at us. The world has to look at us in that particular case. So innovation has been a part of India from that time. So anyway, breathe in, breathe out. And the third one is innovation. And I would say that innovation should be a part of our life, your life and my life. Next slide, please. Dairy milk. Now, many people might say, you are going to talk about innovation. Why dairy milk? So friends, many people feel that innovation means, many people feel that innovation means you have to go for some invention. You have to be some Jagdish Chandra Bose, or you have to be some, Albert Einstein, or you have to be some, say, any person who is more into scientific invention, say Wright brothers, or say James Watt, or say there's so many people, George Stevenson, or Archimedes, or like that. No, friends. I'm not going to talk about inventions, right? I'm not going to take you to physics, chemistry, or something like that, though that is important part of life. What I'm going to talk about is from purely from angle of business, profession, and life. I'm going to touch upon this topic from the angle of business, profession, and life. Why I'm touching up on this thing? Sir, basically, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a professional. And whom I'm serving? My clients are business people. So I have to understand profession. I have to understand business. And life, of course, is an all-encompassing thing. So it is about business, profession, and life I'm going to talk about. And friends, look at one interesting thing. I'm not sure how in Chennai this dairy milk over a period of time must have advertised. The only reason being the language barrier in the different parts of India, even though we have a number of similarities, but because of different languages, we have to trick a little in terms of marketing, advertisement, and promotions. At nationwide, this company Cadbury's, once upon a time, here also my seniors, all the seniors who are today in our program, they will agree with me. Once upon a time, Cadbury's company's chocolates would come to houses only once or twice a year. The seniors who are with me in this program, they must remember that while they were too young, in their houses, Cadbury's would come only once or twice a year. That was the scenario. And that also people would say that only very rich people with spoiled kids would go for Cadbury's. That was once upon a time the market for Cadbury's. Now this Cadbury's company started discussing about it, how to increase the sales, how to expand the markets, how to get more customers. Now friends, tell me, if you are the consultant, to Cadbury's company for increase in market share, what would you suggest? So many of us would suggest reduce the selling price. Economics say that when the price goes down, demand increases. Somebody would say go for cost cutting. Somebody would say increase the marketing budget. But friends, they did some survey, and the survey they had was, what is the time? When is the time when most of the Indians? When is the time when most of the Indians spend? Because that is the time when you can grab them. And they came out with a concept that Indians spend the highest at the time of festivals. Maybe Diwali, maybe Raksha Bandhan, or maybe whatever festivals India has. During the festivals across the country, in the different names of festivals, people spend a lot during festivals. So they came up with the concept of celebrations. They come up with the concept of celebration packages. They would add some dairy 5 stars and some 2 gems total and sell you. Now, friends, interestingly, as a chartered accountant, once somebody a gift of celebration pack, look back, what is the price? Because as a chartered accountant, it comes to your mind, you always run with figures, and I'm a man of figures, and that's why whenever I do something, first and foremost thing I look at is the price. So look, I looked at the price, and then when I opened up the box and I looked at the various chocolates, I looked at the price and I made a total. And to my surprise, I was under an impression that when you purchase more, then the other person is bound to give you some discount. So what should happen? The individual price of chocolate, 6 chocolates taken together, you add up. The celebration packet should be, cheaper than that. But to my surprise, it was not so. The total of the 6 chocolates, the price of this packet was more than that. After discount. Now the interesting thing is, it looks illogical. But friends, this is business. One of the very important things about business and profession is that while a businessman and a professional has to be rational, customer is emotional. So by way of celebration advertisement, this Cadbury's company entered into your house and my house through Diwali or through Raksha Bandhan. The story did not end. They once again said that we have increased the market by 5 times, but still we want to penetrate down. And how do we penetrate? How do we go beyond this? And they started thinking about it. Who are our customers? And they found out that our customers are mostly middle class or above middle class people, upper middle class people, and above that is the upper class, and more particularly business class people. Still, the salaried class is not actually purchasing our chocolates to the extent it should be. So now they came up with a concept. Look at the innovative concept. They come up with a concept that it is first today. It is the first day of month today. In Hindi, they came up with a concept. कुछ मीठा हो जाए आज पहली तारीख है. कुछ मीठा हो जाए आज पहली तारीख है. You know why this advertisement? This was a very innovative advertisement. This advertisement was focused towards the salaried class. Where a child would remind his father, "Father, today is first date. That means you should give me a chocolate." And That made a very deep impact. That made a very deep impact in the market, and the market for Cadbury's increased multifold. There are many other strategies this company adopted. But what I'm trying to tell you is, when we talk about innovation, innovation can be in terms of strategy. Innovation can be in terms of marketing. Innovation can be in terms of brand promotion. Next one, please. Now this one, 2020. This one, 2020. Cricket is an age-old game. It's not a new game. Definitely not a new game, right? Test matches used to be there. Maybe some 5 decades back, there was only test matches and test matches. That was the major part of cricket. Then came up the one day internationals, and the last form of cricket introduced was the 2020. So before 2020, in India, before 2020, there was something like Ranji Trophy, where different teams from India used to play against one another. But how many of us actually paid attention to Ranji Trophy? Very few of us, very few of us. But the same Ranji Trophy in the name of 2020, when came as an IPL, when I came as an IPL, it was an innovation. It was an innovation. Colorful clothes, cheerleaders, different type of commentators, right? Third Empire, and so many other things, so many new things, free hit, and different teams, CSK, and so many Mumbai Indians, and so many teams, auction concept, so many new concepts were introduced, and the same cricket was redefined, and this cricket became popular. This is the old format. The old format was Ranji Trophy, which was not that successful. But with innovation, IPL, it became so successful. So you can look at it. Innovation is there in sports also, in sports branding and sports management also. Next one. This is, of course, like Rajendra Kumarji talked about Amitabh Bachchan. Amitabh Bachchan, here look at one innovation. Amitabh Bachchan, once upon a time in Bollywood, was an angry young man. Today, neither is a young man and he cannot afford to be angry every time. In one of the films, Pink, which was released a few years back, which was a film based on a very good social message, a very good social message that respect women, respect females. That was the central theme of this movie. And the way dialogues were written, they were very unique, they were very innovative. Like the dialogue written on the screen, ना सिर्फ एक शब्द नहीं अपने आप में पूरा वाक्य है. Those who might be watching Hindi movies also, they will appreciate that these are very different type of dialogues, and even with the simple theme of the film and accepting Amitabh Bachchan, the star cast was very new. Still, it was a big success. Why big success? Because of the innovative type of dialogues. So you look at it that in film industry also, it works on innovation. And as I say, I think Tamil Nadu is full of the films which are innovative, because I know there are many films in Tamil which have Hindi remake. Hindi remake. Next, please. Now, this is also one from a Bollywood film, and this is also a remake from a South film, a remake from a South film. And in this film, there was a dance sequence, a song, and in that, very simple dance step. When I actually went in some dance parties, I could see that whenever this song is being played, all the youngsters are doing some similar type of step. And I did not know why they were doing so. But after some 2-3 dance parties, I realized that this unique step was in the film, and that's why all the youngsters were doing that. Friends, the interesting thing is, even after 10 years, if the same song would be playing, the same dance sequence will come up, which is a very innovative way of putting up the dance. So innovation is in forms of dancing, in forms of singing, in forms of acting, in forms of music, in forms of dialogue writing. Innovation you find there also. Next one, please. Now, innovation. Let us look at this movie. I'm sure this is one movie which everybody would agree was a wonderful movie, a beautiful movie, very good photography, a very simple theory, a very simple theme, a love story. And there are hundreds and thousands of films which have been made on themes of love story, but it's of a unique one. How the love story started in a voyage and how it ended in the voyage, and how beautifully they captured some of the morals also where at the end of the film, the violin players kept on playing the violin. The captain was ready to die rather than letting other people die. The cop who found that he was corrupt, he said that it is wrong on my part, and all these things were there. This was the beautiful concept. So look at it, how innovatively this film was introduced. And that makes it interesting. That makes it really interesting how innovation is there even in films. The next one, the next one. Now this one. This one is something. Friends, I am not very much a film lover. I hardly would watch any films, only 2 or 3 films a year. But there are some films which are very unique. And one of such films is this one, Baby's Day Out. I am sure I am yet to find a person who would say that this film was bad. If you take any other film, there can be both the ways argument. This is good, this is bad, this, that. I remember one of the films here, Pushpak or Pushpakam, I don't know why, what name. It must be famous in Tamil Nadu. In Hindi, it was known as Pushpak, a silent movie by Kamal Hassan. A silent movie where Kamal Hassan and Amla were there. It was a very interesting film, no dialogues. That was also a very innovative type of film, very innovative. And people will remember such films even after 2 decades. Hundreds of films will be released and people will forget them within a few months, but there will be some films which will be remembered lifetime. This is one such film, Baby's Day Out. How innovatively somebody must have thought that I'm going to work, my hero is going to be an 8 months old child. Friends, acting is not a very easy job. I believed that acting must be easy. Primarily being a chartered accountant, I am more into tax, I'm more into finance. So when one film director from Hyderabad, approached me that would you work with me in my film? I said, see, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm not very regular into films. He said that I watched your dramas and I feel that you are suitable in one of the character role that I have in a film. It's a small role. I'll not take more of your time. I said, okay, I'll work into it. And when I started working in the film, I came to know it's a very tough job. It takes too much of time. In for a single shot, full days have to be spent. So for making a film with a child, it would have taken otherwise 2 years. 2 years. How could they complete the film with an 8 months boy, remaining 8 months? Remaining 8 months. So they interestingly made the script like that. Very interesting scripting, very interesting sequencing, very interesting photography, very interesting scenes. And they found out twins. They found out twins. Actually, they are twin brothers. So that when one is acting, the other is at ease. When the first one denies that I am not going to now act, you go to the second one. Very interesting. So innovation is there. Just look at it. This film will be remembered even after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So something we have to do, which is remembered even after 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Next one, please. Now, I'm sure the seniors sitting here will find it very weird. I also find weird. And the youngsters will know this is fashion. So if you look at this picture, don't look at the tops, look at the bottoms, look at the denims. Ah, horrible denims. I'm sure people who are logical like me may say that these denims are horribles. How can people even wear such worn out, torn out denims? But friends, once again, look at it. Here comes innovation. Kindly understand that. See, as chartered accountants, we have to be very good consultants to business. We have to understand business in 360-degree, right? If we only consult them in income tax or we only consult in terms of GST, that is a small part of business. We are playing on the peripheries. We have not gone into the nucleus. But if we understand the business to the 360-degree, we have much more scope of adding value, taking the businesses to heights, and thereby we get a better chunk. We get a better chunk out of it. The fees will increase like anything. In Surat, I know some chartered accountants. Who have decided that more than 10 clients, not more than 10 clients. They will only focus on how the businesses of these clients will grow beyond limit. And on the basis that they are getting very hefty fees from these 10 clients. From the 10 clients, the total fees that they are getting is more than what many chartered accountants are getting from 1,000 clients. Now, this is innovation. And this is what we talk about value addition, right? That is very interesting. So let us understand business. For understanding business, we have to understand the psychology of customers. Friends, I remember when I was in school, I used to tell my father, Father, I want a denim. I want a denim. Now, I belong to a very simple family where my father did not have a house. He was doing a routine job. So my father said, I'll give you a denim later on. Then once again, next time I would tell my father, Father, I want a denim. He would once again say next time. Many years passed, and those days, denim would mean only one blue jeans. That's it. So ultimately, when I was in my college, I got success in getting a denim, a blue denim, and I was very happy. I was very happy. Now I have a denim. And at that time, denim means one blue trouser. Now, if for everyone denim is just a blue trouser, what will happen? Your business is stagnated. Your business is stagnated. If your client is into production of denims or raw material for that, how does it grow? So now the denim companies started coming with the dark blue, medium blue, light blue. So once again, your sale increases. Now a youngster would say, I have the light blue, I want a dark blue. What next? Now everybody has dark blue, light blue. So they started coming with some different colors. Blue plus green, blue plus black, blue plus gray or something like that. That also people started purchasing. What next? So they came up with the concept of acid wash denim. Then they came up with stone wash denim. Then they came out with monkey wash denim. Now, once again, you have all the types of denim. What to do now? So they started with some changes: low waist denim, mid waist denim, high waist denim, no waist denim, different type of things. Now this was actually logically, if you look at it, it looks very absurd. It looks very absurd. But they were very smart. They were very smart. They said that if you are going with high waist, it is old fashioned. Go with low waist, and they increase the sales once again. Look at the innovation. Look at the innovation. And finally, now they are with this worn out jeans, torn out jeans, and they said this is in the fashion. After this, they would once again come with something else that, this is the pockets are on side. Somewhere they would say pockets are on the lower end. Then they would say these are the 3/4 jeans. In short, look at the innovation. Had this industry not been innovative, the sale would not have been to the extent it is today. It would have been 90% less than what it is. But look at the innovation. So innovation is there in all the spheres of life. That is what I want to interact with you through these very simple examples. Next one. The next one. Now, this one. Friends, while I was growing up, okay, in the previous slide, you could see Tom and Jerry. While I was growing up, Walt Disney came up with the concept of Mickey and Donald, and there was another concept known as Tom and Jerry. And as a kid, I loved it. Every week, I would wait to look at how Jerry would disturb Tom, how he would, tease him. There was something very interesting as a kid. And even today, I remember all those things. Friends, think about the innovation, what Walt Disney did. Walt Disney started as a small cartoonist. And when he came up with the concept of Mickey Mouse, his publisher said that you are a fool. You are a fool. Do you think somebody is going to look at such type of characters? And look at what Walt Disney created. It's a history. You go to Los Angeles, you have a big park, you have a big amusement park with his name. You go to Orlando, you go to Paris, you go to Hong Kong, right? You go to different parts of the world, and you have very huge parks by this gentleman, Walt Disney. Was it not something innovative? Very innovative. How he could play with the kids across the globe for maybe decades and centuries. And the next one was about the candies. Sir, the next one, please. Sir, the next one is Pulse. I'm not sure whether this Pulse is very popular in your part of Tamil Nadu, but it is very popular in Gujarat, this Pulse. Now, once again, a question may arise, Why am I talking about pulse when it comes to innovation? The answer is, when the owners of this company, the promoters of this company wanted to come into the market, they did a market survey. They did a market survey. They interacted with different customers, prospective customers, and they first found out that the candy market in India was growing at a very high CAGR. The candy market of India was growing at a very high CAGR, and that's why it is wonderful if you enter into the candy market. And they did a survey as to what type of new candy should be there. And after surveying various cities, they came up with the concept of this pulse with unripe mango flavor outside and then another flavor inside. And friends, you might think it's a very normal thing, but interestingly, this is one particular product which broke the record of Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola had a record of reaching up to 100 crore sale in a record time, and this Pulse broke this record faster than that. Of course, they both are not comparable. The reason being, we do understand as chartered accountants what is inflation and what is index number. So we will not compare that. But the interesting thing is, just look at the innovative things, how a candy maker introduces a new candy in a very short period of time, goes up to a billion. I'm talking about a billion sale. Billion is not a small number. That is all innovation. Otherwise, it would have been like any other candy. For a small market, they would have entered and they would have disappeared. Next one. Now, what I want to tell you is innovation. I tried to discuss with you innovation by examples of products, by examples of sports, movies, and like that. And I was trying to tell you that innovation is there in movies, in songs, in dialogues, in dances, in cricket, in sports, in other aspects of life. But now look at it. I'm giving you another dimension. From this picture, can you make out who is the person? Who is the ruler? Who is the person? Yes, you can make out from this peacock feather that this belongs to Krishna. This belongs to Krishna. Friends, in India, there have been thousands and thousands of rulers, and there are thousands and thousands of crowns. But this is the crown of Krishna. It is innovative. Even after 1,000 year, 4,000 year, 10,000 year, 25,000 year, this is the crown. When you look at this crown, you can make out who is the wearer. Who is the wearer? Is it not innovation? Indians are very innovative. Look at Ramayana, look at Mahabharata. Each and every character is an innovator. In Mahabharata, if there are 5 brothers, they all the 5 were with different weapons. If Arjun was with bow and arrow, Bhim was not with bow and arrow. He was with Gada. So look at the innovative things. How our Indians used to imagine the world even 5,000 years back. Indians were too innovative. Before the attacks from Mughals and the Britishers, if you look at the original India was full of innovation, very innovative. And those days, our education was not lefty; it was more righty. The lefty education has been unfortunately what Britishers have left for us. Now it is right time to come once again to righty education. The President Kishore Kumarji talked about the right brain, and friends, the time has come up that we once again refocus on the right brain, because artificial intelligence otherwise also is not going to give us any other choice. Next one, please. Next, yeah, this very interesting one, Royal Enfield Bullet. Once again, friends, while I was growing in my school, I was in my school and college days, I used to look at some people having this Bullet, Royal Enfield, 350, 500cc. And this was a dream. This was a dream for a college boy that I want a Bullet. But those days it was not affordable. Those days it was not affordable. And it was not even possible to kick it. It was a very difficult thing to do. And this was nearly extinct. This product was nearly extinct. And once again, the way they captured the market, almost in 2008-9, this company once again introduced this product in a different avatar, with innovation, with self-start, and with a different mindset. And it was such a success. It was such a success. Friends, one of my chartered accountants friends from Gujarat, he took the agency. He was into practice. He gave the certificate of practice and he took the agency of Royal Enfield in 2008. and he reported me that in the first 5 years, the profit he generated from this particular agency was 10 times more than his practice. Now, I am not about practice versus entrepreneurship. I am only on one aspect, that if we understand where innovation is there and we accordingly strategize ourselves, then we can see the benefit of that. And friends, this Royal Enfield is a part of ICAI Group. It's a product portfolio of ICAI Group, only one of the products in the product basket. Had it been a separate company promoted by the ICAI Group, a separate company selling only one product, Royal Enfield, and probably if you or I would have invested equal to the amount of the price of a bullet, a motor vehicle, those days, today, we would have been a billionaire. That is the power of innovation. I repeat my point. If you or I would have invested 2 lakh rupees, which was the cost of the 500cc bullet, then we would have become billionaires today. That is how it grew very fast. Of course, had it been a separate product, because it was a part of the ICAI group, the effect was, of course, averagized. There was an average effect, and it did not go with that CAGR. Next one. The next one is, yes, as I said, fortunately, when I'm talking to people from Chennai, I'm talking about this gentleman, Rajnikant. Friends, Rajnikant is also a very interesting case study. Very interesting case study, believe me. And as chartered accountant, also have to understand that. See, one question would always arise. I am a chartered accountant. Why are you discussing with Rajnikant? No, that is not the case. You and I cannot claim 10 crores in a film, and one gentleman is claiming 100 crores. So there the answer lies. What is the reason? Differentiation. Differentiation. Friends, kindly understand, this is a management principle, and there is a very beautiful book by Jack Trout called Differentiate or Die. There is a beautiful book by Jack Trout. Probably every chartered accountant should read it. The book starts like this. Friends, the first page of the first page of the book says that ultimately quality wins. Ultimately, quality wins. And you will agree with me? Yes, you will agree with me. Ultimately, quality wins. On the second page of the book, Jack Trout has written, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Of course, I don't mean quality is not important, but he gave a very beautiful perspective, and his book is known as Differentiate or Die. So Rajnikant was very innovative, and he followed that path, this management principle of differentiation. He did not fight with Amitabh Bachchan for dialogue delivery. He said, let Amitabh speak the dialogues the way he is doing. He is not a dancer like Prabhudeva. Let Prabhudeva dance the way he wants to. He just said that, let me create characters which are very different, which other actors cannot do. And he started with what the different type of characters, what the different. Of course, many of the South actors have tried to copy him in the recent years, but he was an original person, innovator, and this innovation made Rajnikant a successful person. Of course, his simplicity is adding fragrance to the flower, but you can look at it, innovation. Next one, please. Next, yeah. Now, for innovation, you have to understand, friends, a very, very important warning, for businessmen and for professionals. If you read economics, economics tell us that if you are in a perfect competition market, you don't get supernormal profit. You have to be happy with only very small margins, very thin margins, only normal profit. That is what economics says. And what is the characteristics of perfect competition? The characteristics of perfect competition is homogeneous products. Wherever you find homogeneous products, the margins are going to be low. Because the products are the same. When the products are the same, as a seller, your bargaining power is not so very good. When your products are differentiated, when your products are branded, your bargaining power is high. For example, iPhone is also just another mobile phone. iPhone is also just another mobile phone, but it has come out of homogeneity. It has shown that we are a different breed of phones, and that is the reason how they are enjoying the market. I'm not promoting iPhone anyway. I'm not a big fan of that. But my point is, if you're homogeneous, homogeneity kills you. Now, for those chartered accountants who are into compliance practice, kindly understand, if you are only into compliance practice, where 10 chartered accountants are performing the same services, the client can go to anyone if the services are more or less the same. If it is only filing of returns, right, not a very big advisory role, only of some procedural compliances, then the client can go to any chartered accountant. That makes it homogeneous. And if it is homogeneous, then naturally you cannot claim good fees, right? And that would lead to undercutting. So here, the principle of innovation comes: homogeneous versus heterogeneous. Those businessmen and those professionals who could brand their services and products as heterogeneous products, not homogeneous, as distinct products, they've always got a premium. They've always got a premium. And this is the relevance of this topic for a businessman, for a professional. Next one. The Now innovation can be a spot of moment. When Isaac Newton looks at an apple falling, he thinks about it, why the apple should fall, and then he comes out with the concept of gravitation, the law of gravitation. Now this is also innovation. This is spot of a moment. Against that, if you look at Apple, iPhone, or iPad, this is a result of very well designed efforts of a very huge team, So innovation may be a spot of moment, or it can be well designed efforts. Both are innovation. And what type of innovation you can do, I think it can always be a blend of it, depending upon what you are and what type of business or profession you are into. But anyway, it is imperative. Next one, please. Next one. Now, look at some beautiful things about innovation. Innovation starts at the top. Friends, if you really want the organization innovative, you have to promote your entire organization, your middle level and bottom level. You have to act as a leader. You have to act as a motivator. Many of your lower level team will come out with very stupid or very ridiculous, absurd suggestions. But you will have to keep calm. You have to keep calm, and you have to encourage them in spite of such type of stupid things they are doing, because innovation is born out of madness, craziness, and maybe 10 ideas your employees can give are very absurd, and the 11th idea may be successful. So you, as a leader, as a boss, you have to support innovation. Now, unfortunately, what happens? Say I am a chartered accountant. Now, actually, friends, I completed my chartered accountancy 25 years back. 25 years back. Today in my office, I might have a chartered accountant who's only 5 years old, who completed 5 years back. So I might always feel that I am senior, I am more knowledgeable, I am more intelligent. So maybe when a young chartered accountant comes to me, sir, I have this idea, there are good chances I may laugh at him or I may ignore it. I may believe that no, this cannot be done. I am doing it for 25 years. Now, this is not the right attitude. I should listen to him. Maybe 10 times he'll make a mistake, but 11 times he is going to give me some very big suggestion, which ultimately is going to take my practice to a newer height. So innovation starts at the top. It is a leadership thing. Innovation is 1% of idea and 99% of execution. Friends, many people have ideas, but unfortunately, they are not capable of putting their ideas into execution. They don't have the determination. They don't have that commitment to convert the ideas into execution. So mere ideas do not lead you anywhere. Execution is equally important. Rather, it is more important. Next is, being unique is of no value unless it gives some value to customers. Friends, just because you are unique, it does not give to any importance to other. If you can serve, if you can create value in the life of other, the more value you can create in the lives of more people, the more benefit you get and the more successful you are. So it is not only being unique, but it is providing value to customers. And the customer may not be always right, but he is at the heart of innovation. You have to understand, friends, it is your attitude. Many a times, professionals feel that we are too learned and they go with I attitude. by I attitude kills. It should always be you attitude, understanding the needs, the requirement, aspirations of the customers, doing the market survey, and on the basis of positioning your products and services. This is what management talks about, and this is what innovation is about. Next one, please. Innovation may be incremental or radical. See, even small and incremental innovation may be there, or maybe there are huge innovations. We have seen in the market, there are many products which are so innovative, they are so radical, they disrupted the market. They disrupted the market. So it can be radical also. And friends, believe me, in the fields where we are working today, tomorrow some person with radical innovation may displace us. There can be some disruptive models coming up, and even you and me might find ourselves irrelevant in the new environment. And that is the reason why we have to learn new technologies, why we have to look at the new things happening across the globe in terms of business, in terms of profession, and the mindset of the customers. Now, one beautiful saying is that slow and gradual improvement in candle, slow and gradual improvement in candle never created a bulb. So all the times, incremental does not work. Many times in life, you have to be radical. You must have courage, you must have conviction, and you have to be radical and come out with something new, something revolutionary, something extraordinary, something disruptive. Anyway, now innovation may come out of culture, necessity, or compulsion. There might be some companies like Google, Microsoft, where innovation is a culture. Apple, their innovation is a culture. It is there in the culture from the top to bottom. Each and every employee is trained about innovation. He is inspired about being innovation, right? The entire culture of the company is innovation. So either it is culture, or sometimes the culture, some of the organizations may not have the culture as innovation, but because of some necessities, from time to time, they have to go for innovation. As it is said, necessity is the mother of invention. Now, this is the second category. And the third one, the unfortunate category. These are the people who do not learn, who are not proactive. They become reactive. That also they are always late in reaction. Innovation by compulsion. When the competitors take over, when the world changes and their market share is reduced, the market size is adversely affected. That is the time these people out of compulsion start taking care of innovation. Friends, I would suggest that you and me should not be in the third category, compulsion. It would be better if we are in the first and second category, innovation out of culture, innovation out of necessity. Next is, there is always an unsatisfied market. Friends, this is a very important statement. Please listen to this statement. Friends, I did my international business from Los Angeles, US. Thereafter, I went to Milan. Italy, for studying strategic management. Therefrom, I went to China, Guangzhou, for studying marketing. By the way, all the three countries, US, Italy, and China, where I studied, they are very much affected, badly affected. But in China, I learned one beautiful statement, a beautiful statement by a very intelligent professor. I'm talking decades back while I was in China as a student, a professor who was also the trainer to Alibaba. Those days, Alibaba was not a very big success, and I had the luxury of being trained by the professor of the same professor who trained Alibaba also. And he made a very profound statement that there is always an unsatisfied market. Friends, kindly note, I am not talking about dissatisfied customers. I am talking about unsatisfied market. At every point of time, there is a market which people have not looked into. If you can identify that, if you innovate and if you place yourself into that, then within a short period of time, you are bound to have very big success. I'll give an example. Friends, a decade back, those were BlackBerry phones. Those were BlackBerry phones. BlackBerry phones were considered business phones. And people with BlackBerry phones used to boast that, we are people with BlackBerry. And BlackBerry had given them a feature, BBM. That is, you could message from one BlackBerry mobile to another BlackBerry mobile. This facility was only available on BlackBerry, not on other phones. And BlackBerry was boasting about it. Now, some person looked at it. Look at interesting fact. All the other phone manufacturers other than BlackBerry does not have the feature of messaging this way. And that means there is a very big unsatisfied market. And one company jumped into it, this unsatisfied market. And that company made a product which is very popular today, and that is known as WhatsApp. That is known as WhatsApp. WhatsApp is nothing but BBM for other mobiles, and WhatsApp replaced BBM. And WhatsApp was purchased by Facebook for what amount, boss? 19 billion US dollars. It's not a joke. 19 billion US dollars only because of innovation, only because of identifying an unsatisfied market, a huge market which was not satisfied by BlackBerry or anybody else. So if I and you satisfy such unsatisfied market, we have a great scope. Friends, in US, I listened to one gentleman called Naveen Jain. Naveen Jain. He is a big entrepreneur. He is a very big entrepreneur. He also talks about billion. He also talks about innovation. And if you get an opportunity, go ahead and listen to him in some TEDx event. In some TEDx event, listen to Naveen Jain. He talks something sensibly. And from there, from nothing, he has grown into multi-millionaire billionaire. I'm not talking only about money, but I'm just focusing on innovation, ideas. Next one, please. Now, one of the very important things is, of course, for youngsters. And of course, as elders, we must support youngsters. In India, failure is not welcome. But friends, in business, in innovation, some failures are bound to happen. The simple rule is fail early, fail fast, fail inexpensive. You have only failed if you if you fail to learn something from the failure. If you learn something beautiful from the failure, that is not actually a failure. You have converted to a success. There are many people who have failed a few times, and from that they have learned how the things do not work, and they have come forward with some of the great business ideas. Next one. Now I'll quickly go through a few slides, very quickly through a few slides. I'll not deliberate more on that. Maybe rather, I would invite your questions. What I'll do is, I'd request Tarunji and Kishorji, if there are any questions on this particular Zoom app or on maybe Google, then you can just look at it and you can pause the questions. I'll be happy to discuss them. Very quickly, running through the slides, innovation is about passion. Next one, please. Passion. It's about motivation. You have to be motivated. Boss, you only live once. You only live once. But if you have the motivation to live it beautifully, once again, I repeat what Kishore Kumarji said in the beginning was a beautiful thing, happier than earlier. I think if in the entire day, if somebody had to learn a single thing, single phrase, this was a beautiful phrase, happier than earlier. Follow it. Similarly, more innovative, more motivated than earlier. Similarly, innovation is about creativity, and we all have to be creative. The creator has put enough creativity in all the creatures, to co-create. It has given all the powers. We are all the agents. We are all the agents of the creator for creation. And that's why creativity has been given to us. And that is the basis for innovation. Next one. It is about courage, confidence, conviction. Not everyone can innovate. Most of the people keep on doing the same old thing they used to do throughout their life with very minor changes. It requires a very courageous attitude. You must have some conviction and you must be confident enough to experiment. And as it is said, the ship is safe on the shores, but that is not the reason why it was made, right? It is only, and also as it is said that smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. So it is about the courage, conviction, courage, which makes you an innovator. Next one. Now this is a very profound statement. Of course, by chance, it is suitable to the corona era. It's perfectly by chance. Sorry for inconvenience. We are changing the world. Sir, there have been some few people in the world who have come as very big innovators, Wright brothers, where the innovators, they changed the world, how we travel. Wright brothers, right? They came up with the airplanes. Or think about those who came out with electric bulbs, those who come out with television. So there have been people who have changed the entire world. Would you not like to be one amongst them? We also have to be inspired. We also have to motivate ourselves to do something so that even after 50 years, we are relevant in the life of somebody. So a very bold statement. Sorry for inconvenience. We are changing the world. Next one. Innovation is nature. Sir, look at nature. How innovative it is. You have beautiful mountains, snow-clad mountain peaks. You have some beautiful seashores, and you have rainbow. Rainbow shows nature is innovative. Seasons show summer and winter and summer, right? It shows the innovation of the nature. Autumn and spring and autumn is once again the innovative cycle of the nature. Day and night is once again innovative. Nature does not want to stagnate. Nature wants to keep on changing every now and then. A flowing river shows innovation. Next one, please. Innovation is life. See, innovation touches each and every life, each and every life. And one of the simple example of innovation is, tell me friends, 1 month back, how many of you were on webinars? Friends, I tell you, in the last 1 month, I have addressed more than 100 webinars, across the nation, even out of India, at Australia, at Africa, and Canada. And the interesting fact is, 1 month back, I did not know how to operate Zoom or Zoho or OnGoTo or BlueJeans or Instagram Live or Facebook Live. I did not know anything about it. And today, within 1 month, with this innovation, we have seen the entire different world. Look at it. I am with some of the best brains of Chennai. Sitting at my place and interacting with them. Without this innovation, without this technology, would it be possible? Probably it would not have been possible. So this is something very interesting. Innovation is life. And the last slide is, so this is innovation, right? Keep on innovating, keep on enhancing your life. Thank you very much. I must thank the Association of Chartered Accountants, Chennai, for providing me this great opportunity. I must thank my very, very dear friend, my senior council colleague, P. Rajendra Kumar, for linking me with this wonderful organization, with the organization in Chennai, the city of intellectuals, and the people who are always smiling, the people who are very polite and humble and very knowledgeable. Rajendra Kumarji, thanks a lot for linking up me with this beautiful organization. And I must thank all of you for being with me in such an abstract program. This was not a program on GST, right, where Rajendra Kumarji is an excellent speaker on that. This is not a program on income tax, a core one. This is a very abstract program. And in spite of that, you all stayed with me for such a long period of time. I must thank you. And if you have any questions, I'd be very happy to answer that.
Sir, before you thank us, I think we should thank you that consistently since last 1 hour, 28 minutes, without pause, without any break, without having even a sip of water, you have been able to deliver your wonderful speech. We always, I think by this time I would have taken a glass of water. I was only listening. I'm not even speaking. I have taken a glass of water. I have taken a cup of tea, and all those things are going on. But big salute to you. It was a fantastic presentation, sir. And sir, for the benefit of audience, such a big speaker, such a busy person. Yesterday we had a trial run. We requested him to come for a demo for today's program because we were trying something different concept. 3 times because we were not able to success. That is okay. We were trying to innovate. We were not successful. That is okay. Next time we will be more successful because now we have listened to him. But all the 3 times he obliged us by coming to the screen, sharing his valuable time in spite of his having 3 webinars yesterday. So for that also I am very much thankful to you, sir. Sir, one query has come from Panchapakesan Ramdas sir. How to activate the other side of brain?
How to activate the other side of brain? Friends, I'll tell you one very interesting thing. Rajendra Kumarji is on the screen, and I tell you, once there was a very big forum of Jainas. There was a very beautiful forum. There are some 2,000 youngsters, and I was told that you are going to speak on some topic. And I selected one topic known as mathematics, meditation, music, Mahavir. Now, when you look at these four words, you might feel what is the linking of this four? I'll tell you. The left side of the brain is about logic, and that is the reason we learn mathematics. While the curriculum of CA was being developed, one of the very senior past president asked why chartered accountants are being taught mathematics. We should be taught only accounts. At that time, I told, sir, mathematics is a brush for the left brain. Those who are very good in mathematics, they increase their speed, they increase their analytical ability, they increase their logical inferences. And that is the reason whether you go to IIM Ahmedabad or you go to IIT Bombay or you go to Harvard, you go to Stanford, you go to London Business School, you go for computronics, you go for being a fighter pilot, you go to electronics, you go to any field at higher level, you require mathematics as a subject. It develops your left side of the brain. But friends, as chartered accountants, we are very lefty. So our left brain is developed regularly. When regularly you use the logic of GST, of income tax, you learn new things in audit, right? You take decision. Your left brain is very developed. Second part is the center, that is meditation. Left is mathematics, center is meditation. And meditation is the gift of India to the world. Yoga, pranayam, meditation is the gift of India to the world, right? So meditation. The right part is music. The right part is music. So those people who are into the left brain business, left brain, like chartered accountants, like lawyers, like doctors, they should have the hobbies, righty. Their hobbies should be righty. What are the righty hobbies? Play guitar, be a singer, be a dancer, play piano, right? Be a good photographer, be a painter, take interest in gardening. If you start doing that, if you start looking at the creative part of the life, your right brain will also be developed. Left is also there, right is also there. It will make you a wonderful human being. Friends, before joining council, I had my HR company also. You must have heard about MAFO, MAFOI. That was also a Chennai-based company. I was looking after Gujarat area of MAFO. I was looking after that a decade back before joining council. So there, when we used to go to major corporates, we were having a psychoanalytical test for the employees to understand whether they are lefty or they are righty, what type of people they are introvert or extrovert. So from that, what team role they should play and what should be the strategy of the company for such type of HR we used to decide. So for developing the right side, you must have some hobbies, some creative reading, some interesting literature reading, maybe in Tamil, maybe in Hindi, whatever language suits you, being a guitarist or even being, see, if you cannot play guitar, if you cannot play piano, it's okay. Even listening to beautiful music can also activate your right side of the brain. So this is only a small suggestion how we can improve on that. And that reminds me of Rajendra Kumarji, who is very good in terms of left because of GST and very good in terms of right because of singing, right? Left and right both.
Sir, one of our very senior member, is the founder member of our ACA Chennai, Mr. Ravindranath Naidu, sir. He has already innovated one beautiful sentence. He stated that it is an innovative presentation to innovate the hidden innovation in all of us. I repeat, it is an innovative presentation to innovate the hidden innovation in all of us. So people are already.
I must seek his blessings. He's too senior, founder person too senior. I seek blessings so that I can keep on growing in my life. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, we all are sailing in the same boat. We are all learners and we have to keep on innovating.
With the kind permission of Kishorji, in fact, very much sincere thanks to you, Jai Chhaira ji, for this wonderful presentation and also for keeping us engaged for so long. In fact, I would like to inform our viewers that Jai Chhaira ji was responsible for a course on leadership jointly with the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. In fact, that is a wonderful course. Jai Chhaira ji, can you please shed light on that course, because many of them are watching you and they may certainly would like to take benefit. Please, sir.
Right. I think Rajendra Kumar ji has talked about a very, very interesting thing. A few years back, I approached the IIM Ahmedabad on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants India that if there can be a joint program of ICAI with IIM Ahmedabad, and if our chartered accountants can come to your campus and learn management, because we are good with income tax, GST, audit, company law. If the element of management is added there too, it will add fragrance to the flower. So with that concept, I approached the IIM Ahmedabad and we designed 3 courses for chartered accountants. One course is for senior accountants, that is for 5 days. That is for 5 days. 5 days you have to go to the Ahmedabad campus and they will talk about what are the recent development in management and how to develop your practice, how to grow in your business. That is one course. Second is for 15 days. For 15 days. And the third course is for 25 days. 25 days programs is for fresh chartered accountants. And in this batch, what they are doing is they are training our young chartered accountants to becoming CFOs of the company at young age. So that is another very innovative program that we have done in IIM Ahmedabad. Actually, we had tie-up with other institute also. We have tie-up with Jamnalal Bajaj Institute, Bombay. We are also working upon tying up with ISB Hyderabad. We have tied up with MDI Gurgaon, and we have tied up with KJ Somaya Mumbai. Why multiple tie-ups? Because of different reasons. Like KJ Somaya, you can get it at very reasonable rates. So those chartered accountants who have that asset, they can join that particular program. IIM Ahmedabad would be a little premium. So those who can pay the premium, they can go that. So in order to add to the needs of various chartered accountants, we have entered into various MOUs with number of B schools across India and a few even abroad. Particularly, I think IIM Ahmedabad is one of the best MOUs and chartered accountants can take the advantage of that.
In fact, many of the youngsters who are watching this, even we also, in fact, I have also told Jaibai many times that I would like to join, but then the compulsions of the council keeps us away from all those self-improvement activities. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Bharatji?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Speaker sir, for your hour-long innovative speech, making our brains to be activated with a lot of relevance from all the across the field, across the globe. You have been touching sports, music, film, industries, products, right from chocolates, balloons, babies day out, movies, etc., and whatnot. So it is a hour-long presentation which kindles our mind, kindles our brains to think, to innovate. And this is the time which we have got now. Thanks to lockdown, we can think over and we can innovate more new things and see that how we can serve the business community, the world, and reach success in and by playing a small role at least in improvement of the world. Thank you very much, sir, for your presentation. And we also thank you for sparing your valuable time for us. And yesterday's inconvenience also was being pardoned by you for by coming to us by more than 4 to 5 times for the demo at least, in spite of your busy schedule with number of webinars which you had scheduled for yourself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks all of you. Thank you, Kishorji. Thanks, Bharat. And thanks all of you. Stay safe, stay at home, and be healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rajendra ji. Thank you very much. Kishore ji, Bharat ji, Tarun ji, thank you very much. Thanks to all. Thank you very much.